Good morning and welcome to this Blender 2.8 tutorial. Today we will be talking about the very basics of getting started with Blender. Okay, so if you don't have Blender download, you can go to blender.org and click download. It's free, even for commercial use. Here I'm using version 2.82a. Okay, well, when we open up Blender, there are a ton of things that you can change, and you might be feeling super overwhelmed. So, for this tutorial, we'll just go over a few really basic things that will get you started making really cool stuff. Okay, here we have our cube selected. That's indicated by this orange border around it. You can select the camera, the left mouse button, or like for the cube. Those are three default things that when you open Blender they're always going to be done. Okay, we want to move our cube somewhere, do something with our cube. Here are the tools to move, rotate, scale. We'll go over them one by one. Move. We can move it along the x-axis. The red line here is indicating the x-axis. This green line is indicating the y-axis. And you can't see it, but here you can. The blue axis is the z-axis. So, if you want to move it only along one of those axes, you just use one of these three tools. If you want to move it along two axes at the same time, you can pick one in between, like this. And then it's showing you I'm moving along the blue z-axis and the red x-axis at the same time. Like this as well. Okay. Now we know how to move our cube. If we want to rotate it, here, the tool to rotate. Also, if your computer seems to be having a little bit of troubles with keeping up, like it's going super slow, this is kind of a processing intensive software, and so you may want to try decreasing the resolution of your computer. Mine is at half resolution right now, just because it's not the most peaceful computer ever, but it works good if you just move it to half the resolution. So that's just an idea. Okay, here we can rotate our cube like we did before, along the red x-axis, the green y-axis, and the blue z-axis. Or we can rotate it perpendicular to our view, like this. Okay, awesome. You can also scale it on the z-axis, y-axis, or the x-axis. You can also scale it along two axes. Or we can scale the whole thing just on all the axes at the same time, so pretty much just make it smaller or bigger. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Now you may be wondering, well, how do we look at it from a different angle? I'll tell you. Here, if you click and move, now we can move around the view. This is called orbiting. If you want to zoom, just scroll. That's the easiest way to zoom. And you can also grab this and then move it in or out. That's easier just to scroll. And here, this is called panning. If you grab this and move around, it's just moving your view kind of on a plane, to the left or right, up or down. So those are the three ways to move your view around. If you want to do it a little bit faster, really quick here, I'll just show you some shortcuts you can use. If you press the middle mouse button, hold and drag the middle mouse button, it's the same as using this thing. It's orbiting, like this. If you want to zoom in, we already talked about that, zoom in and out. If you want to pan, you hold and click your middle mouse button, the shift key, and you can do the exact same thing as they did. And you can use these if you want, or you can use the shortcuts, whatever's easier for you. Okay, well, now we know how to, this is called navigation, orbiting, zooming, panning, and we know how to move, rotate, and scale. You can also use this one if you want. It has all of them combined into one. It's a little confusing for me, so I don't really use it, but you can use it if you want to. But yeah, so that's kind of the basics of navigation and transforming whatever object you have selected. Do the exact same thing with your light. Here for move it. Same thing with your camera. It's all the same. Just depends on what's selected. Okay, and if you want to get rid of this thing and not see it anymore, just click right here. And it just gives you a normal view again. Okay. And if you don't want to have anything selected, just click off to the side and it'll deselect everything. Alright, next we're going to add in some other objects here because the cube is cool, but it's not really that cool because it's just a cube. So, if we press Shift A, we can find a ton of things to put into our scene. We're just going to go to this tab called Mesh and choose one of these things. There's a lot of really cool stuff here. The coolest one by far is Monkey, because why there's a monkey here? Well, it's just cool. So we're going to add a monkey. We want to see the monkey from the front, so I'm going to press down my middle mouse button and orbit so I can see it from the front. And I want it to be in the center of the screen, so I'm going to press Shift to the middle mouse button, pan, so it's in the middle of the screen, and I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to pan again, zoom out, and orbit. So you really just have to get used to using those tools. And you can use these too if you want to. But eventually, it's going to be easiest if you can do it really quickly. However you want to do that. Just so that you can move around exactly, and look at every little thing you want to look at, which is going to take some practice. So that's what we're going to be practicing together today. Okay, let's try moving this. Like that, and rotate it. You can also scale it. Now we have a really thinking move. Okay. And again, if we don't want to see all that, just click right. Okay. Okay. Overview. Now, if we press Shift D, we can duplicate it. This is really cool. So I have one monkey head. Now I have two. Now I have three. And if we want to duplicate a bunch of monkey heads, we just have to have one selected and then Shift, and then click on the next one. Select two of them. If you don't press Shift, it'll get rid of the other ones that weren't selected. So it's that one, Shift, click, use left mouse button. Now we have three monkey heads selected. Now if we press Shift D, we can move it. And click when you want to place it. Okay, and then we can even copy all 6 monkey heads down to 12. So you can have a lot of monkey heads if you really want to. Okay, let's add something else. So remember to add a new object, Shift A, Mesh, and then select objects. Let's add it. By default, whenever you add a new object, it'll appear right here where this little target looking thing is. This target looking thing is called the 3D cursor. So when you add in something new from this menu, from the Shift A menu, it'll always appear right there, this again. Okay, so we can go over here to start moving it, or we can press G, and now we're moving it just by dragging the mouse over. If we want to move it on a specific axis, for example, all we have to do is press the X key, and we're moving it along the X-axis. Y key, Y-axis, or Z for the Z-axis. So those are the three axes that you can move it along just by first pressing G, and then which axis you want to move along. Okay, awesome. Now we have a bunch of monkey heads that come rectangular prism. Yeah. So now my invitation for y'all is to take what I just taught you and make a spaceship with it. You might be thinking, well, I can't really make a spaceship because I have no idea how to make a spaceship. But actually you can. Using just these really simple stuff, really simple things that I showed you. Also, if I'm like, this is kind of ugly and I want to get rid of it, you just start clicking and dragging over here, and select all of it, hit delete, and yeah, it's gone. Okay, Shift-A, add in something new, you're going to add in a cube. I will start to show you how you can actually make a spaceship using what I just taught you. So I just pressed Shift-D, and then moved it along the x-axis. And now I want to move it along the y-axis. So you can just start moving it with Shift-D, copy, it's kind of like copy and move, and then press Y and move it along the y-axis. And now I'm going to scale it down. Now I'm going to, also, if you want to, the shortcut for scale is S. And then if you want to scale it along an axis, just press that axis. I want to scale it along the y-axis. That's good. Panning, remember? This one's panning. Orbiting. You gotta get really good at that. Okay, now Shift D again. I'm going to move it along the y-axis. I'm going to scale it down. You see how this is starting to look like a spaceship. Now I'm going to select these two and move them over here, exactly on the x-axis. Now, actually, I'll just take this one, move it along the x-axis, scale it up. Now I'm going to do this really fast, and you're not going to do this fast at first, unless you're just a wizard. But you might be. I'll just do it really fast, just to show you kind of the process. You make your spaceship. You can make it however you want. You shouldn't be copying me because your imagination will be more epic than mine. Scaling. Now, if you notice, maybe I wanted them to be scaling like this one like this, and this one like this at the same time, but they're going to scale towards each other. Maybe that drives you crazy. If you want to change that, press the period button on your keyboard. Now I can switch it from median point, which means just the middle of however many objects are selected, individual origins. And now I can do that. And now you have to remember that, like, for example, if I want to scale all this stuff, now it's going to be on that mode. So I have to remember to press period, switch it back to median point, and now it'll scale normal. Okay, awesome. So those two things. Now, just for fun, we shall add them up. Let's put it right here, and move it over here, and spin it around. Also, if you press R, that's the shortcut for rotate. R, right now it's rotating it perpendicular to my view. I want it to rotate it around which axis? The Z-axis, facing the other direction, the front of this spaceship thing. So, and if we want to rotate it an exact amount, for example, right here, we probably want to rotate it 180 degrees. I just have to start rotating it with RZ around the Z-axis, and then type 180. Now it's perfectly rotated 180 degrees. Now I want to make it huge because that's and then copy these, scale it down, scale it up. It's like on this pedestal looking thing. And maybe we want to push that in a chorus. And then move this up, and then over, and then up, and then over. And now it has a halo. Or you can do whatever you want. But as you can see, you can start to make your spaceship only using these really simple things that I showed you. You can make it as epic as you want, or as simple as you want, preferably epic, whatever. I mean, and then you can also select all these like this, and then copy them. And if you want to repeat what you just did, so like I just selected them all and copied them, if you press Shift R, it'll just like do a whole bunch of them, which is super epic. And then you have like a whole army of like Halo monkeys with spaceships. So that was what I wanted to show you guys today, and yeah, I hope you liked it, and have an excellent day. Bye.